in a few minutes. Okay, so I'm so excited to see everybody. I really don't know that my team even had a team call last month. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I feel like I've lost a few days since that trip. But anyway, I'm so excited to see everybody and to see Abby on here too. And Amanda's going to probably have a couple more coming too. I was so excited because Amanda reached out to me and she said, "Do you want to start doing our calls together again?" And I said, "Yes." So y'all know how much she brings to the table, uh, because she is the whole reason that I'm here, and which would, mean that we're all here because of her too. So I was going to say that I wanted to shout her out first because she earned the watch under Josh's leg of her team, and Josh went senior silver. And that is a huge accomplishment because that's somebody outside of her primary leg. And as you grow in your business, it's going to be really important to have a well, strong business. And, even if you have somebody, the great thing about Plexus, even if you have somebody who does amazing, you have to keep working those outside primary legs. And so for her, to have some people under Josh who are growing. She had a silver under Josh, so that's so exciting. So she developed a silver, a senior silver, earned the watch, and who knows how many pairs of shoes she'll get this month. But anyway, and then all of you on this call, I know are going to get some shoes and probably multiple pairs. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen because even though y'all already know all this stuff, we're just going to go over it because there'll be some people who hopefully watch this. And here I am looking at my screen share and I don't know which one I need to even share. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to what Amanda put into the Peeps group today because sometimes I don't read it as well as I should in the beginning. Anyway, so if you earn the shoes if you get 3 new VIPs or retail customers of 100 PV or more. And then you can get more if you enroll 6 or get a level 1 silver, you get another $150. So to me, when I read this, and they told us you don't even have to use this on the shoes. Like you can use this for clothes or whatever you want to use it for. But it is pretty neat to have these shoes. I mean, I would probably like to have those shoes that say Plexus on them. You probably get a lot of comments on that. But anyway, I mean, I kind of saw this too, like when you're presenting it to people, they could think their children, like my kids need another pair of shoes, or I mean, obviously men for Christmas. I mean, like you could buy your mom a pair of shoes or your dad or whoever, and I'm sure that you could buy more than just one pair of shoes. I mean, I'm sure you could buy multiple pairs of shoes if you got them for cheaper. So, I mean, like when you're presenting it to people, yes, they might want a $150 pair of shoes, but they also might want to just use that for clothes or shoes. I mean, just really, really good opportunity. And I think they've made it so easy for us it's so achievable, like anybody can do that. So,
hey, Ashley, I want to say, can you hear me?
Mhm.
Okay. I want to say real quick that if you saw in some of our chats last month about doing the pop-up party, hosting those for level 1s to earn the watch, like you could really do that same thing with shoes. So if you had anybody that was interested last month in earning the watch, but maybe you didn't get a party together for them or a little event together for them, you could circle back this month. And if you didn't get a chance, because I know last month was super busy, if you didn't get a chance to reach out to people about the watch last month, then we have an example message that we can send you where we talked about the watch. Basically, you could just insert the shoes and how they only have to add 3 people. Like, would you like me to host an event for you? This is really great for people who are loving the products because, and not to say that somebody who isn't a person consistently ordering wouldn't be interested. That's not what I'm saying. But people who are like, yeah, and you could tweak your message to say like, listen, I know you're already loving your products. I've got to tell you about this super fun incentive this month and where you can earn this pair of shoes just by getting 3 new VIP customers. I would love to host a little pop-up party for you, just a quick 15-minute event. What do you think? That was off the cuff. So just keep that in mind. Very similar to what we kind of did last month. That might give you an opportunity to get some people interested that haven't been before.
Yes, I agree with that completely. I actually saw something I was gonna, oh, did you see this, Amanda? I was gonna show y'all this. This was a message that I saw in one of our groups. It said, hey, you can use your referral link this month and get some Nikes. How cool is that? And she said that's what she's sending to her people. I mean, it might work. It's simple. People don't
That
have to
is
read.
short. Yeah,
I might
that's gonna
say,
be,
yeah, I might add something else to that, but I mean, I think it might work.
Ashley, make a note and put that in the peeps chat later too, because really that would be a great open-ended question for them to respond back also before you kind of give them all the details.
Yeah. You know, you don't have to know everything before you think about it. Okay, so we got the new flavor of Active, the new flavor of collagen. Isn't there a new flavor of collagen, Amanda? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's going to be like because I thought that was supposed to not taste, but hey, it might be good. Okay.
Maybe it'll mix better in Slim as far as the flavor.
Oh, I bet that's what they're going for. Okay. Then you got that pretty water bottle. Like a lot of people are attracted to things like that. So whenever we were on our call, they said that Genevieve said that she would reach out to all her people and just be like, hey, just want to let you know what's new this month. And I want to do my best to get done quick so y'all don't have to listen to me talk. But I was going to tell y'all that I had somebody do this to me the other day, and it really did mean something to me. Our insurance agent through Woodman of the World, he's our life insurance guy. He reached out to me, texted me, said, I have something I want to tell you about, called me a couple times. It took a couple times for us to connect. And he said, I just want to tell you something new that we have right now that I really think you'd be interested in. And it did not offend me at all. You know, I didn't feel like it was salesy. I just felt like he was telling me, and I said, let me think about that. Well, it's made me think about it a lot. And I said, I don't know right now, but ask me again in a couple of weeks. And so it did make me mad though. You know, like we think we're going to like offend people by telling them this kind of stuff. So I thought it was a really good idea she had because I just had it happen to me. All right. So berry flavor of Active, new collagen. There's that beautiful water bottle. I never knew water bottles got people so motivated, but it really does. People get mad on my team when they do not get the welcome pack. Like if they order the wrong thing, they're like, I didn't get the water bottle. I'm like, you didn't order the right. Well, anyway, okay, free ground shipping. I won't tell you who missed out on free ground shipping because they put their subscription order in and didn't click economy. Me.
You got free shipping, Ashley.
I did.
Yeah, yours was the one I checked to verify.
Oh, I thought I had to click something.
No, it can be economy or ground.
Okay,
so good. That's nice.
Okay, good. Praise the Lord. I didn't miss out on that. Okay, so free ground shipping. Definitely let your people know that before their order goes out, okay? Because you're saving them a lot of money. All right, there's that graphic. Here's your earning potential for the month. You know, you think about what that could mean for somebody with the shoes. That's the good. You can buy a few Christmas presents with that and get some shoes to give for Christmas. So that would have definitely got my attention whenever I was a stay-at-home mom. And I'm not saying you only have to be going after stay-at-home moms, but I'm saying like I needed the money to spend for Christmas. Okay, so I think I'm done except for one more thing. That it? Okay, product of the month. Isn't that product of the season, Amanda? Aren't they going to?
Yeah, they changed it.
It's product of the season now. So there's no longer product of the month. And what do they say about perks, Amanda?
So it means that normally collagen is 500 perk credits, but they're dropping it for the whole season, the next 3 months, to 450 credits. So if you use your perks to redeem collagen, you'll get it for 450 versus 500. Yes. And it's going to stay the same for 3 months. I think that's really good.
And if you haven't,
another thing, go ahead, Ashley. I was going to say one other thing, and I would honestly have to look up all the details on this because it was kind of a lot. They are rolling out for Pivotal. You're going to be able to earn perk credits for using Pivotal, even for having a certain PV order. Like there's actually going to be like these little dots, like on your Pivotal dashboard that shows you if you're qualified to earn these extra perks. So I think they said in our meeting last week, up to 800 every quarter extra perks by using Pivotal. So that's going to be a big deal when you have people using the reset when they're excited about their results. We gotta do better at getting them plugged into Pivotal, because I've been slack on that. But now that they actually have a free product reason, because they're going to be able to earn free products from using Pivotal, hopefully that'll help get some people plugged into that.
Well, and they showed us when we were in Hawaii, they showed us some number that they have. I mean, it was a high number of people who are using Pivotal that are ordering regularly. It was like 40 or 50% of people.
Yeah, I think it was higher.
Okay, it was a high amount of people who are plugged into that are actually keeping their order on. So it does work. Okay, so one more thing on the reset, they said that if they want to get that $20 discount, it has to be in that same order. You know how it used to be like if they had ordered earlier in the month, they could get the $20 off later. Now it has to be all in the same order to get the $20 off the reset. Okay, I think that's all that I have. I was going to say that Kim had a sip and see this past weekend, and some of y'all may have heard us talking about that, but I did want to shout her out for that, because y'all know it takes a lot of bravery to do that. And we had a couple people get to come, and both of those people are going to or have already placed an order. And we got to talk a lot about the business and, kind of help her along on the back office. Y'all know how that is when you're first getting started. So they say that in-person events are really where it's at right now, because people are wanting to get back with people. They are done hiding in their homes. And so we really want to start working on those. And so if you don't have something like that on your schedule this month, I would encourage you and strongly encourage you to get one on your calendar this month. And if you've never done one before, you need to get with your sponsor, and you need to, get them to help you do one so that you can know how to do them from there on out. But even just if I have, I would say that the number is almost like 100%. Like I would say 95 to 100% of people who come to a in-person event actually order. I mean, it's almost 100. I mean, really.
And the retention is also so much better. Like I literally have people come to mind that I did sip and sees for Ashley with her level ones that like years ago are still ordering.
Yeah.
And they're not even doing the business.
Yeah. So, and they still follow Amanda on Facebook and stuff, so they know she's a real person. Anyway, get an in-person event on your calendar this month. Okay. Just make it happen. All right. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let Amanda talk, and she's going to talk to y'all about actually not Amanda. It's Abby that's going to talk. I'm sorry. Me and Amanda are hoping that Abby's going to talk for a long time. Abby got to go to Gold School this past weekend, and she's going to share with us her takeaways from that. So take it away.
Okay, let me just say I'm nervous, but I think this is probably the best place I could start with talking instead of doing it on my own. So we're going to give it a shot. But I think the most helpful thing for me, I love in-person events. I told Amanda that when we were there, like it just gives you some sort of like motivation that you can't have just over a phone, I feel like. So that of course was great, being in person with everybody. But the most beneficial thing that they talked about this week for me was how they explained in depth the schedule of the winning day. Because I've told Amanda this too, I thrive off of having specific instructions and action steps to take. Because when I'm just left to like, not that she doesn't help me, because she helps me every day so much, but like if I'm just sitting down like, oh, who should I message today, or what should I work on for my business today, I'm going to get really distracted, and let's just be honest, end up scrolling on Instagram for a long time, like working but not actually doing anything. So that was super helpful for me to be able to kind of know exactly what I need to do for each step, and the time limits that they set on it, because it let me know like I don't have to do this for 5 hours a day for me to get somewhere, just starting small like that. And then the second thing was I feel like I had kind of a mindset change from how can this business help me to how can I help other people through this business. And this is kind of like sharing one of my faults, but I feel like I've been focused on how can I get to my next step, or how can I get more points this month, or hit the next rank or whatever. And not that that's a bad thing, but I feel like I need to be more focused on how I can help other people through this, and that the Lord will help me grow my business how he sees fit if that's my mindset. So those were my two things that were really helpful for me this weekend.
Thank you. That was so good. You did great. And that was a perfect kind of segue what we were going to wrap the call up talking about the winning day, because one of my big takeaways in this, just the reality that I have been very scattered personally working my business for a while now, because I think I know in my mind what I'm supposed to be doing, but not having a sheet in front of me like allows me to squirrel. And then I get very involved in team stuff and what I need to do for the team versus my personal activity. So I'm really excited about starting to use this winning day sheet. And we are actually going to have an accountability group starting next week where we're just going to use it to keep each other accountable, where we're going to take a picture of our winning day and put it in a chat. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit, and then we'll circle back to the accountability chat. So we'll put these in our chats afterwards. So this is, I don't have a screen share up, but this is 7 steps to a winning day. It's the one that Amber Miller did, and it's based off of Gold School, just what Genevieve taught at Gold School. Ashley is actually able to put it up. Okay. We have the other one, Ashley. Okay. Yeah, that one. So if you want a sheet where one sheet for the whole week, this may be the one you want to use. But if you use this sheet, you probably are going to have a little separate notebook just where you can jot down some notes throughout the week. But you can see over here on the left-hand side, it shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but it tells you how many minutes you're supposed to be spending on these particular activities. And then actually, you don't got to switch yet, but there's another winning day sheet that we're going to drop. If you decided you wanted to use that one, it would be more like a daily sheet. And it actually has, Ashley, you can switch to that one now, that other one. So this other one has a place where you could actually write down people's names and things like that. So it's really a preference. Where do you want one sheet where you're kind of checking off little boxes and maybe taking some notes on the back or in a different notebook? Or do you want to use this winning day sheet that she's showing now, where you're able to actually, basically you would need one sheet for every day that you want to do it. So just quickly going through it though. All right, let's see. Basically, they are the same activities. It's just one sheet is broken down where you're kind of able to check off like each of the activities versus just saying I expanded my network for the week. Like instead of checking that off, you're able to actually look at the exact activities and check those off. Okay, so the first step of a winning day would be to expand your network. And at Gold School, they call this sow your seeds for later. So this is where you set a timer for 15 minutes and you're going to build connections with people from Facebook or Instagram. So what this means is you're going to like and comment on non-Plexus people's stories. And you want to try to leave authentic comments as well. And it doesn't have to be weird, but like whatever you think in your head, usually oftentimes it's oh, that's such a cute outfit, wonder where she got it from. Instead of thinking it in your head, actually taking the time to make a genuine comment on somebody's post. I also think it's a great idea to respond in stories. Mm-hmm. So if there's something you can relate to in stories, responding in stories that's going to go to them like in their messenger, if they have Messenger. So like in the future, as you're building relationships with them and Plexus comes up, it's not going to be like the first message, the first time they've ever talked with you was about Plexus. And there are times when that's okay. Like the Lord may put somebody on your heart, or you may see that they're struggling with a need. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to reach out and in a situation like that about Plexus, if you feel the nudge to do that. But in other situations, when you're working on this winning day and you're looking at who you want to bring up the opportunity with, the more you engage with people in stories and on Facebook, like you're just building that relationship. So any questions about that? That would be 15 minutes. So literally setting a timer and working on this. And y'all, I was a little surprised because I've tried to start working on mine before the earlier this evening. Like, I've got so many Plexus people in my feed. Like, that's another thing Genevieve talked about at Gold School, about really trying to comment on non-Plexus people stuff and interact with them so it'll show up more in your feed. Like, it was actually hard. Like, I had to keep scrolling because so many were Plexus people. So 15 minutes may not seem a lot, but if you're doing that, I think you're and looking for non-Plexus people, you're really going to be surprised at how many conversations you can have, or, you know, little comments you can leave in that time period. Let me see if I missed anything. Abby, if you think of anything either, chime in, because she went through all this. All right, so the next one would be make a post on Facebook or Instagram. So like on Amber's sheet, and like I said, if you decide to use the pink sheet, the other sheet, you still probably want to print this sheet out as well, because it's just a good reference. Because like on Amber's, it gives you some ideas of different posts that you can do. Whereas on this sheet, you know, it's just tells you to post. Did you post? Like she talks about asking the audience questions. You can do posts sharing an idea, doing posts that show you, and then a Plexus post. So ideally, if you're posting on Facebook or Instagram, you really don't need more than one Plexus post a week, unless you are sharing more personal non-Plexus posts during the week. So like if you are sharing at least once a day, say maybe something personal non-Plexus, then yeah, you can do more than one Plexus post. But like if you're only doing one personal post for the week, one Plexus post would probably be enough for that week. Does that make sense? You just want to be balanced. That's the biggest thing. You want 80% to be personal related, entertain, educate, offer value, and the other 20% Plexus. That's just as a general rule of thumb. Then that's 15 minutes, which I'll be honest, that category would be one that would take me longer, because it takes me longer to write posts. But that's okay. I would just pull time, you know, from somewhere else. So then the third one was offer Plexus to people. So your goal is 3 people a day to have a Plexus conversation with. And then on that pink sheet that we were talking about, on that one, it actually specifies to have a new conversation with one person about the business and follow up with 2 people about the business. Now, where you're at in your current business, if you do that, you know, it may take you a little while to get comfortable with doing that, in other words, because I feel like that's something that you grow into. But I will encourage you to really think about offering the business, because Genevieve talked about that a lot this weekend, about the power of offering the business, the opportunity first. And what I can do for y'all as well is there's actually in our little book, they had this gold school book for us. They give some example messages about the business that you have, of how to lead with the business. Obviously, you have got to tweak this to make it sound like you, but it doesn't need to be some long drawn out message, you know. But basically, then it even says, like, if they're not interested in the opportunity, then it shows you how to follow up with the product. So she was just really big on, and I mean, we know this, but I think it's easy to forget because it's outside of our comfort zone. So we kind of took it away. But if you want business builders on your team, what do we got to do? We got to talk about the business. You know, if we only ever talk about the products, you're going to only attract product users. And I mean, I really feel if I'd have been talking about the business several years ago, I'd probably be Sapphire, maybe even Diamond by now, you know, just because it took me so long to actually start talking about the business stuff. And I still need to talk about it more. So that was just really good. And if you were, you know, we can talk about that more if like you have questions about what that looks like. And also know that you don't have to be making $2,000 or $3,000 a month to talk about the business. Jennifer, real quick, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but she was talking to someone about the business recently, and I loved her response. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Jennifer, that one where you were talking about even how like $300 to $500 a month.
I'm blank. I've sent so many messages the past 2 weeks. I don't know.
Okay, I put her on the spot, but she was just like in her message, it was like she was just telling her friend, like, yeah, I've been doing this a while. And she was like, even though I might not be as far as where I want to be, she was like, $500 to $700 a month has made a huge impact for my family. So
Yes.
we have got to stop thinking about most people, when we talk about the business, they're not looking to make $1 million. They're probably not even coming in interested thinking they could make 1,000. They're probably just thinking, wow, man, wouldn't it be awesome if I could make $100? So Jimmy had talked about selling a lifestyle. Most people aren't just looking to get rich, but what could $300 to $500 a month mean for people in your circle? Like for me starting out, that meant extracurricular activities for the kids. $300 to $500 means we can do piano, we can do art without me having to wonder, well, how else can I work to pay for those activities, in other words. So just think about those in long of, don't think just because I'm only getting my products paid for or barely getting my products paid for that you can't share about the opportunity, because it's not true. Okay, so I'm gonna speed it up. All right, then the next one is follow up and layer exposures. And this was about 30 to 60 minutes. And that is after offering Plexus, you're going to move people to the next step in the conversation. So you're going to do that by using samples, testimonies, asking questions. Basically, you're layering exposures. And then another one is third-party validation. So look at scheduled events from corporate and your team and invite people to them. So y'all, third-party validation is just huge. And that's why, like, after me going to Gold School this weekend with Abby, I'm just like, oh my word, I want all my golds here. Because hearing so many different people talk about how amazing this business is, they're almost in tears about the difference it's made for their family. Just hearing people pour into the golds like that, it's so powerful. And it's something that we're really personally limited in what we can do, because we're just one person. So hearing other people's stories is so powerful. So third-party validation, that could be corporate events, team events. We usually have a couple team events a month. And Ashley and I were also going to talk about the Rise and Diamond events, because in Rise and Diamonds, they have a business of gut health. So like if you have a conversation, this would be the flow. If you have a conversation with somebody about the opportunity, are you open to hearing more? Don't use the word interested. Are you open to hearing more? If you end a question like that and they're like, well, yeah, maybe, then you could invite them to a business of gut health event. Or sometimes we'll do a business event for the month. So that's what we mean by kind of layering exposures. When you follow up, all of the information you're giving them doesn't need to be coming from you. So use the events and resources that we have. And then next was stay relevant in social feed. So that was like try to post at least 3 stories a day that add value. You can do a mixture of post stories. You make it work for you. I'm personally going to try to do better at posting because I have heavily gravitated towards stories for a while now. And I know that a different audience sees my stories than sees my post. And then the last one's duplication. And scroll, let's see. So duplication is when you teach people how to get their products paid for. All right. So I know that was a quick overview. So what we're going to do is when we put these in our chat, these sheets, I'm also going to put a video in there of when Amber Miller actually goes over the 7 steps of a winning day. She does a fantastic job. It's maybe 25 to 30 minutes. So if you want a more in-depth about each of these things, you can watch her video. And our challenge this week for you guys is going to be to do 2 winning day sheets. So if you want to grow your business. But if you think 2 sounds really daunting, you could try to do 1 this week. I challenge you to try to do 2 and work through it, because even when I was sitting down to work through it, I feel like just kind of slowing down, that the more you do this, the faster you're going to get it going through. Like I could tell this afternoon when I sat down, it was taking me longer, just kind of like, okay, wait, what exactly does this mean? But I know the more I do it, the quicker I'm going to get at it. So try to do 2 a week. And then if you want to be this week, if you want to be in our accountability chat next week, just reach out to us personally and just be like, I want to be in that chat. And this isn't going to be a chat where to stress you out or anything like that. But I just know personally, I need some accountability. And I want you to be thinking after you go through the sheet twice this week, okay, think about, well, what do I want to commit to for the next 30 days? Now, we know this is a long time, a business. It's, we're in it for the long haul. In other words, we don't expect a major results in 30 days. But I spoke to someone, actually Heather Ganifke. She's been posting a lot in the Rising Diamond, super sweet mama. She's a mama. I think they have 9 now. And she was the one telling me how the Winning Day has transformed her business. She was doing this diamond sprint group with Genevieve, and it's like for 3 months. And she started in January and she almost hit Sapphire. Almost. So she's probably getting real close again. But she told me in Hawaii, she was like, I'm telling you, if I would have been consistent doing that Winning Day, like I started out, she's like, I know I'd be Sapphire. So, and then Abby and I heard from another girl, her name was Lauren, and she hadn't developed the silver, I think, in maybe like a year. She started that 3-month course with Genevieve where they're required to do the Winning Day 5 days a week. And she developed like 3 silvers in a month or so. So we know this is work. We know this is going to work. It's just going to take time. But Genevieve was pretty much like, if you do this consistently for 90 days and don't see any kind of growth, like I'll buy you a unicorn. So, and this, honestly, this is the stuff that Ashley and I did definitely to get to Senior Ruby. I mean, at that point, we started having, some more duplication taken off with other leaders. But this was what we did. So just be thinking about like, what do you think you can commit to? Now, on what we went over, it showed that might take 2 hours a day. If you don't have that 2 hours a day, then just adjust to what you can. It might take you 2 days to do one Winning Day sheet. That's completely fine. Y'all make it work for your schedule. But the important thing is just doing the consistent work. And we heard that over and over this weekend too. Like consistency trumps so much, like even mistakes and where you mess up and failure, just being consistent, it truly does make all the difference. So do y'all have any questions about that? I know I went through it super fast. Nothing on there was like hard, in other words, I mean, yeah, I know it might make you break a sweat reaching out to people. That's not what I meant. But I mean, it's kind of stuff that you've all heard before, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's the stuff we really know we need to be doing. All right, any questions?
Go ahead and add me to the accountability group, that chat. I'll be one of those that probably does like 1 or 2 a week. I won't be doing it 5 days a week, but it'll be 30 minutes a day that I can spend on that. But I think that I have it printed out because I'm thinking the Winning Day sheet, didn't we have that in, I can't think of what it's called, but I'm thinking we did Amber had done a group in Rising Diamond back in April or May. So I have it printed. I have not been diligent in using it. And I'm the same way. I really need the accountability of turning in your sheet to know you've done the work. Because Abby, even 5 years into this, I am terrible about sitting down and saying, okay, I'm going to work for 30 minutes. I open up my social media and I'm like, okay, who am I going to message? Because I've messaged so many people. Sometimes it takes me 10 to 15 minutes to try to find somebody that I haven't connected with.
Yeah, and that's why I definitely think it would also be good to print this sheet out as well when we send it, the pink one, because Amber's is great, but like on the pink one, it actually also tells you to add 2 new friends a day. Because you, not only are you wanting to comment on people's to start building relationships, but you're also wanting to grow your network.
So this is not a question, but I was going through trying to do the 7 steps today. I didn't get through all of them, but I didn't even mean to, but I was able to use the 2-part conversation like segue. I saw Brittany Howard posted a story and it was a repost of one of her customers saying how the triplex helped her milk supply. And I remembered that I had reached out to this girl who she just had a baby a few months ago, but we were just talking about triplex and we weren't even talking about her baby or anything. But I just sent her the story and I was like, I don't know if you struggle with this, but I thought of you because I know we had talked about it. And she ended up coming back and saying she didn't struggle with it, but she was still thinking about the products, but she just didn't have the money. And like one of the main things Genevieve kept repeating over the weekend was, I don't want the finances to be a problem with you. for you to be able to buy the products. So let me teach you how to get them paid for, and like using that as your segue without being like, do you want this big business? Just talking about getting your products paid for. And so I asked her, like, are you open to hearing more about it? And she said yes. So I don't know what will happen with it yet,
Hey.
but it was just neat to be able to like see it actually in use and like kind of working. So
That is
Yes,
awesome. Way
and
to
I will
go, Abby.
I'll take a picture and put that in our chat too, because it actually has that in the book. And we talked about this last year. We just haven't really talked, well, earlier this year, we just haven't talked about it recently, where she says, I pride myself on being able to help teach people how to get their products paid for. Obviously, you would probably change it to make it sound like you, because I personally wouldn't say I pride myself. That just don't sound like me. But still, I love to help people get their products paid for, whatever that looks like for you, because I would never want finances to get in the way of your health journey. And another thing I want to share real quick, and I'm gonna wrap it up because I told Ashley I need to keep it short. She's got another Zoom, like a couple Zoom for her church after this. This really stuck out to me. There was a slide up about not going for the minnows, but not being scared to go for the big fish. And I was thinking about how sometimes people that intimidate us, our chickenless people, don't be afraid to go for those people, because if you were to write down, and they had us do this, a list of qualities that you admire about people. I encourage you to do this week on your winning day sheet. What would you write down? I wrote down integrity, cares about people, kind, hard worker. Those are the people you want to be going for about this business. The qualities that you admire in people, look for those people. Yes, we know all people need the products. That's not, what I'm saying? It's a given. But I'm saying, don't be afraid to reach out to those people. And also don't be afraid to, hey, you know what? Expect for them to tell you no. Be like, nothing's probably going to happen from this the first time. And if it does, whoa, just be shocked, and be like amazed. And sometimes it does. I mean, I have had that happen. But I guess you would say more times than not, oh, not right now, but thank you so much for thinking of me, But don't be afraid to reach out to those people, and don't be afraid to later reach out to them again, because you guys, we hear so many times how a sponsor pursued a person for like 13 months, 18 months, and these people are like diamonds now. And I think we have to remember that I wasn't interested in this in the beginning. It's like, yeah, right. This is just another thing Jennifer's trying to do on the side. I've already done books with her. I went to her jewelry party. This is going to be like another one of those things, So it took me a while. So don't be discouraged, but I do challenge you to write down that list of the people that you would like to have on your team, and maybe set a goal. Like, I'm going to reach out to one of those people per week, and don't be afraid to voice message them either. All right. That's all I've got. Anybody else? Are you shaking your head about the voice message? That gets easier with practice too. Hey, now this is something I do. I just did it last week. So sometimes I voice message myself, so that way if I mess up, it's not going to them and then me do an unsend, So you can voice message yourself first, like you were talking to that person, then you can forward it over, and it does not say forward to them. So it'll look like you voice message them. So that's a little tip.
You guys, I had to teach Amanda that there is a voice memo app on your phone. She was like, you can record conversations? I'm like, yes. She was like, I can practice.
Ashley, Abby, I've already got a request for Abby to do a training on Reels.
Yeah, I need one. That's one of my goals right
seriously.
now.
She did that reel of us from Gold School in like 15 or 20 minutes. And y'all, like 2 hours later, she was like, oh, our reel only has 1,200 views. I'm like, 1,200 views? I about fell out. Like,
it's not a lot. It has 2,000 now, but that's not that many.
That is hilarious.
She's used to getting like 4,000 to 6,000 on her. So
we are going to do a mid-month check-in too. And I know we didn't give y'all any events for the month yet. That's because we don't know what they are yet. Actually, I think Amanda's doing a messenger event on Thursday. Are you doing a messenger event on Thursday?
I am, but right now it is. I actually might have two, but it is for individual level one, so it might be a little awkward.
Okay, well, I'm not really sure what the events are yet for the month. We really just needed to roll this out, and then we'll get to the events. And y'all might already have some lined up, but we really wanted to push the in-person events, because I think messenger events are still working, but just not as much as they were. And so we've all seen that. We've all known that. We've seen it already happening. And honestly, Julie went back to the other kind of Facebook event. She's seen some fruit from that. But I think I'll have to talk to y'all about it later, but I think the best thing that we can do is focus on the just getting people the shoes. And whether that is offering an event for them or just helping them know how to reach out to people about it, you know. But I think that's where we're going to see the most fruit is if we really start, and we got to start early because, you know, this is off track. But, you know, one thing I was actually talking with Julie about today is I see a lot of this at the end of the month, and I don't think that this team does a lot of it, but I see a lot of people every single month. I've got all these codes to give away, and I'm just like, okay, you can't do that every month, you know? And I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but we can't discount the value of our business every single month because our products are really not that expensive. And especially not as a welcome pack. And I know we're all trying to reach all these goals, but just be careful that, and I know a bunch of people did the magic post. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about there are people I see do this every single month. And so you want to be careful not to fall into that trap of, oh, I got to, you know, do this every month, because I feel like that this audience is watching that and they're going, why would I join at the beginning of the month? They're going to do that again at the end. You know, so we just want to be careful, and we want to be coaching our teams down on our downline that, you know, not to just, it's not all about that. And I didn't earn the watch this month, but I see this as a long-term business. Y'all, I was the only jewel on our team that did not earn. I don't know if Jennifer Harmon did or not, but I was the only person on our team that I know. Well, maybe Jennifer did. So everybody else in my chat earned it in our little jewel chat. And, you know, I could have really let that eat me alive. And I was kind of bummed about it for like an hour or two, but I was like, you know what? I see this for the long term, and I'm not going to go forcing people to join this month because I didn't feel like they were ready. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to push them. I'm going to just leave them alone the way that I normally would. And then because it's
Trust the process.
Yes, it's the long term. We're not about just quick, fast, easy. Now we are for our new people, but those of us who are around, we wanted to teach them how to build a long-term business. And you don't always do that by, I don't know what the word is, like just quick fad kind of things. You know what I'm saying? Like be somebody who somebody wants to join because they saw you post about a lifestyle, not just about a sale every month. You know what I'm saying? It just turns our news feed turns our feed into something that I wouldn't want to watch every month. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, I don't mean that harshly towards those people, but me and her were talking about it and how we really need to be sure we voice that to our teams. Like, yeah, I know you want to make a sale every month, but don't do it on the 28th every month. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's just me letting y'all know. All right. I think that's everything, but we'll let you know about events for the month. I'm sorry you don't really have anything to put on the calendar, but do try to get your own in-person event, and then let us know by, what do we say, Friday or Saturday? At the end of the
Saturday.
week. Yeah, Saturday. Try to do 2 of these yourself. Fill it out and then say, yes, I want to do it. No, I don't think I can. But we really feel like all of you can do this. If, you know, at the level that you're at, we feel like it is possible to do it. And we know that the investment is going to pay off in you and in your team. All right, y'all. I have loved it so much.
Thanks for sharing, Abby.
And thank you everybody for coming. And we so appreciate your time, and we will talk to you later. And we're going to have a mid-month check-in for those of you who joined the accountability chat. We're going to check in back in about 2 weeks and just kind of see what we're doing, how we're feeling about it. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.